Hey, good morning. I am Bradley Miller, and I'm going to record just a quick blurb. This isn't actually going to be a part of our normal Miller morning meditation minutes. If you like to share cats in your videos, we're about to have one here. Not last night, in the shower. I do some of my best thinking in the shower. I was thinking in the shower about some of the posts that were going on. As we know, we are the Kansas City Royals world champion, blah, blah, blah. And we had a huge celebration yesterday. There were some estimates of like 800,000 people. That's a phenomenal number. And if you stop and think about how many people had cell phones, it's like there was like I read one post, a friend of mine shared it with me, that he had found this little girl and he couldn't make the call out because that many people all in one area. It is just phenomenal to think about what happened to cell service yesterday. You may have had bars of service, but there was no way that your phone could talk. I was thinking about this in the shower, and one of the things, we think about all the things that over the years have lost their meaning, like the term broken record. Now, some of you out there who are, the vinyl, is the best thing since sliced bread. That revival is kind of coming and going. I don't know where it is right now in musical terms, but a broken record used to mean something. I'm trying to think of another one off the top of my head. Anyway, the one that was coming to mind today was the fact that a dial tone, when we say, do you got a dial tone, kids in the future will never even know what that meant. Because think about it, if you look around in your home, how many things do you have nowadays that have actually a cord that goes and connects to the telephone company? That used to be a staple in American homes. You could find anywhere a telephone, and you could pick it up. You picked up your receiver, whatever it looked like, and you got a dial tone. And what the dial tone indicated was there was an actual physical connection between you and the central office that you were going to be able to make a phone call. Nowadays, we don't have that. And it's kind of interesting to see the shift, because if you have a VoIP phone, a voice over IP phone, a phone that you, like for instance through your cable company or whatever, that is actually giving you a dial tone, but it's all made up in the phone. The phone, whenever you pick up the receiver, it's actually programmed to say, hey, I'm going to give you this reassuring tone because that's the way phones used to work. So I'm going to give you this so you think that I'm alive and well and working, when it's actually not at all the way it works. Because like on a cell phone, your call is not initiated until you dial in the number and press the send button. And where I was going with this in terms of the thought of prayer, a lot of people think that their prayers are like that they go and hit the send button, and if nothing happens, if they get that call failed in their minds, then that means that the big guy didn't hear me. Like the country song, God must be busy. He's never busy. He's everywhere. And yet we treat him that way. We treat him, we make this little box that we fit our version of God in. And I guess my encouraging word for today is think outside that box. Think of how big God really is. He created the universe, He created the planets, the stars, and He knit you together in your mother's womb to know you, to love you. And I shared this thought on Facebook yesterday. Even if you were the only one in the world that Christ was going to die for, to pay all the penalties for all that you have ever done, he would do that just for you. He did it just for me. And we get the numbers mixed up when we see things like 800,000 people in one place, or however many billions of people there are on the earth, and it comes down to each individual person. Each individual person matters to God, and that's why I have such a burden on my heart. We started out doing marriage ministry, and it was focused on two people coming together. But the main crux of that was a marriage is not going to work unless God is at the center of it. And we just expanded our circle because we need to get people to know God and know who He is before we can even begin to work on the marriage piece. So, hope I'm not over time this morning. Peggy's quietly over there, ready to pluck out a hair on my arm if I'm over. So, we will catch you tomorrow. Thanks.